Good evening and welcome, I'm Ursa Ryan, and we're going to play some Civ 5 today. And Civ 5, you may have noticed a lot of my channel has been Civ 5 recently and not Civ 6. I will tell you why in a little bit, but first, before we dive into this game, a couple of announcements that I want to make about the channel generally, and sort of what is happening over the next couple of months. So, I'm doing Civ 5, as you may be able to tell, for a number of reasons. Number one, Civ 5 is literally the only version of Civ that all of my mates have. Sarah, Sam and Fiona, none of them have Civ 6, so Civ 5 has sort of been a good multiplayer game. Number two, I prefer Civ 5 to Civ 6. It's controversial, but I think with the DLC, Civ 5 is a really good game, and I love it, and I'm used to it, and I've got thousands plus, like 1,500 hours or something stupid in this game. That's all fun. Number three, Civ 6 has stopped working on my computer completely. I don't know what they did. There's been a patch. I put some DLC on it. I've tried restarting it. I don't know what has happened. It's absolutely winding me the hell up, but I can't actually load a game at the moment. Civ 6 is completely broken, and every time I get like half an hour into a filming of a game, and I've tried like filming 4 games now, like 4 pretty good, what I thought would be really good playthroughs over the last couple of months. None of them have been working. Number 4, I've got, I don't even know, did I count to 4? I said 3 things, didn't I? There's a 4th for you anyway. I'm very busy at work at the moment because I do tax in Britain and America, and both of those have winter deadlines and I'm very busy, so I'm just sort of trying to get to winter, and because of that I want to play Civ 5 because I enjoy it and it's a really good game. So that's all on one side. The other thing I wanted to say was, you will see that I am absolutely plugging the hell at the moment out of the fact that if you guys can help me get to 200 subscribers, which for me would be just absolutely insane because this channel has had very little in the way of subscribers all the way through. Not that's a bad thing. I completely do this off my own back because I really enjoy it. But if you can help me get to 200 subscribers, off a little bit of interest I've had in the channel, what I will do is I will set up a Civ 5 multiplayer game, which will be filmed, we'll put on the channel, and hopefully that'll be a really good fun thing to do. You may have seen that I've had some multiplayer games with, a multiplayer game with Sarah, Sam and Fiona, which was really good fun. If you haven't watched that, check it out. It's very good. We have actually started, we've done about an hour's worth of filming on the second game, and we've got the next one scheduled, session scheduled pretty soon, so that'll be coming out soon as well. I can tell you already that second game is pretty close. It's good fun, and my god, people have gone absolutely mental. But diving into this game, we are going to be playing Civ 5 again, and I have downloaded, as you may notice, if you look at all these different trees, like, what's happened to the Piety tree? What's happened to a Tradition tree? Why is everything different? I've downloaded the No Quitters mod. I will put a link below in the description, if I remember, to how to get the No Quitters mod in Civ 5, but my god, does it make it a really fun game. And to celebrate the fact that Civ 5 No Quitters mod has made Piety a very feasible and very fun tree to start with, aka you don't have to do Tradition every time, I'm going to play as everyone's favourite Byzantium. Yes, that's right. The Civ pretty much slated as being one of the worst in the game for having an improved religion but no way of getting religion. Yeah, it's Byzantium for you. So we're going to be playing Piety Start. This is just a sort of 8-player game just to get myself back into this, just to show you how the No Quitters mod works. And yeah, cool. I mean, I can take the yields off and you can see this is a pretty decent start. I mean, double wheat and double silver start. That's pretty good. The forge is going to get those like into 4 gold tiles. We've got 2 decent food tiles. There's a load of production with all of this like hills around. I've got even mountains. It's going to be a good start. So I'm on the coast. I'm not even going to bother looking around. Constantinople is going to be a beautiful city. We're going to dive into the Piety tree, and this has changed quite dramatically in the No Quitters mod. Beforehand, Piety, I think if you opened it, you built shrines and temples in half the usual time, and it had other stuff. Let me take you on a quick tour of the Piety tree. So, by opening it up, I get +1 culture and +1 faith in the capital, as well as shrines and temples building in half the time. And it unlocks building Stonehenge, and Stonehenge has become a Piety-only wonder, and it's also much better. So, it's really, we want to be kind of rushing Stonehenge if we can get it. We've got Organised Religion, which gives me +1 faith and culture for shrines and temples, which is pretty damn good. We've got Mandate of Heaven, which gives me stuff from temples. We've got temple stuff. temple stuff and shrine stuff. We've got Reformation. Everything kind of builds up, and Piety is a much better tree now. Holy sites give +1 food and +3 culture, which is pretty cool. Equally, all of these things boost a building called the Grand Temple, which if I open up the tech tree and go to the medieval era, into theology, you can see the Grand Temple is here. It is a replacement national wonder that they've put into the game. You've got to build a temple in all your cities. It normally gives you +8 faith, but if you go down the piety tree, not only does it give you +8 faith, but it also gives you +2 production, it gives you +2 science, +20% science, sorry, I should say, +33% gold. It stacks with the National College like crazy, so it's sort of, your population won't be as super high as if you went tradition, because tradition is still like king of population in most cities, but my god, piety makes up for it with a bunch of bonus science, so that's really cool. We want to double up on that. Pottery, not only did we got the wheat, but we've also want a shrine start, because my god, we want a pantheon. We really want a pantheon. That's 23 faith for a city, and I've just really, have I got it on 8 player? I've got it on 8 player? Must have it not. Yeah, I've got it on 8 player. That's fine. Emperor difficulty. Emperor difficulty is the best difficulty. I maintain it. I can play on Immortal. I can play on Deity. Don't like doing either of them because Emperor means you can have a bit of fun with the game and not get absolutely walloped, which is a nice sort of place to be. Got a coastal start. We can get ships coming and going. I'm going to go for a double scout start and then follow it up with a shrine and then granary boost. Hopefully, that should be a good start. So I'm looking forward to this. I haven't played a decent one-player game of Civ 5 in a little while, so let's just jump straight in. I was thinking to myself, ooh, that is a decent amount of sort of unfiltered, what's the phrase? Just unoccupied land that I could stick a city on and get a decent sea connection, but no, Bucharest has appeared. Cultural city-state, I don't mind that. Cultural city-states are pretty damn good. I'm probably going to be going down the freedom tree later, and oh my god, you can get some serious city-state bonuses with the No Quitters mod. I'm really looking forward to it, but yeah, it could be alright. I mean, could I, 1, 2, 3, 4, I could still fit a city technically where the silver is, but I think we'll probably head the next scout up to the north, see if we can find along the coast there. I want enough space to put at least 2 or 3 cities down on the coast and get a couple of sea routes going. That would be the best. That would be really good for me. So already it looks like this is city-state corner. We've got Bucharest and now also Hanoi. Hanoi, militaristic city-state. Meh. I don't really care about militaristic city-states. I mean, they do their thing, but it's got pearls. I've got pearls. I mean, nah. I mean, I'm not gonna be best friends with you. I'll be honest, I can just tell already that this relationship will not go well. I do, however, have double wheat start up and running now, so I can boost the scout through. It also is going to be perfect. Look at that. 4 turns to get to the scout, and also 4 turns to get to pottery. It's like it was meant to be. Interestingly, there be gems in these here hills. You can see there's a barbarian encampment, which isn't great. But it does mean if I stuck a city right on that silver, like literally on that silver tile, I could reach over and grab the gems. And there's also a couple of like mountain tiles that could be worked. Later in the game, the No Quitters mod has improved a building, or changed a building, the observatory, which gives you now +5 science, and also means that you can work mountain tiles and get +6 science on them, which is pretty damn cool. So I think I can get a bit of science from the capital, but I could also make a little science city down here, which would be cool. There are options. There are definite options here. Now this is a little bit better. Send the scout up to the north. You can see this is easily enough space to get a city in here. Also, I've got deer, salt, and an oasis all within working distance of a city that could be kind of put around here somewhere, which is really, really good. That's going to be a decent city. Manila as well, also. That's a food city-state. If I can befriend that, I'll get some decent growth in the empire. Yeah, I like this direction already. This direction is far better than this direction. So, good. We've got 2 city spaces already. That's good. Now, to build this shrine, the absolute most important thing is that I get the shrine as quickly as possible. I could rush by this silver tile, which would increase my hammers a little bit, but it would stop Constantinople from growing. I might wait until I've got 3 population before I do that. Admittedly, I kind of want a bit more population or a bit more culture than I've got. I want to rush a Pantheon through. I mean, none of the there's a silver Pantheon that's pretty good that I could get, but I don't really mind which Pantheon I get. They've changed the No Quitters mod so that if everybody else gets a Pantheon, it doesn't change from 25th Faith, which is really cool. It means that if I'm sort of third to a Pantheon, then I can still get one, and the computers don't cheat in that regard. But still. Oh, an ancient ruin! I actually found one. Good God. I'm going to rush calendar, get Stonehenge. Yeah, look how good Stonehenge is these days. +3 faith, it's down a little bit. Engineer point, requires piety. Gold and culture costs of acquiring new tiles reduced by 25%. That's pretty good. And grants 150 faith. That's really, really good. I like 150 faith. That's pretty much like a religion in one go. Oh my God, second ancient ruin. Oh, we're going to be laughing. Cultural pop. Cultural pop. Come on, cultural pop. Sailing. It could be worse. It could be worse. Come on, cultural pop. Cultural pop. Map. Fine. I mean, none of those are great, but... oh, there's one right here, though. Cultural pop. Cultural pop. Cultural pop. Oh, for God's sake. Never mind. The good thing is, for a standard map, I've got a pretty decent amount of space with nobody in it. I mean, there's plenty of space to expand to. There are borders here, and I have a feeling this is the Iroquois. Yeah, the Iroquois. So they are going to be spreading absolutely everywhere. Maybe I should rush and go after this double spice drop down there just to get the luxuries in. But, I mean, it could be worse. There's a salt city. There's a gem city. There's enough luxuries in the area that are different to the ones I've got to make me want to expand into them, but this is probably one of the next destinations, and it's a little bit too far away, to be honest, so I have a feeling the Iroquois might get that. A piety start, by the way, it massively increases culture and sort of gold and that sort of thing, so it can be used to jump into most types of victory, but I'm going to be going into aesthetics later. And I'll show you the aesthetics tree a little bit into the playthrough once we get nearer to it. But my God, they have changed around the aesthetics tree in a very fun way. I'm looking forward to showing you that because it's a real laugh once you get like heavily into it. Almost, again, another good city-state. We've got a decent city-state start. So we've met the Incans over here. Hello, Cusco. Cusco have got a fairly decent start with gems and ivory. It means also... oh no, they have got an ivory start. That is the ivory start. So we could trade with them once we've got that going, because we're going to have a ton of silver. It doesn't look like they've got silver themselves, so they might be a good trading partner. Iroquois, again, they're going to have a decent amount of spices, so I could trade with them. I'm going to have plenty of copies of silver, so that's not going to be a problem. But, oh, I don't like having neighbours generally. That's a real pain. Now we've got 3 population here. You can see that this is being worked. That's a terrible tile. We'll buy that quickly. I know I've got 1 turn until border growth, but I'm going to force it anyway, just to speed up the shrine, get my gold production a little bit up. That 2 gold per turn is going to make back that gold pretty quickly, so I'm not fussed about that, but... here we go. Am I going to get stuck in almost land? I am, aren't I? Well, keep going. Interestingly, the Germans are also down south, so the Iroquois and the Germans have settled quite close to each other. That's going to be fun. It means the Iroquois are probably going to have an enemy that is of greater threat to them than me, which is good. It should stave me off from a little bit of the early game attacking, I hope. I was picking between a worker and a granary here. Normally I'd go for a worker, especially in a place where I could improve 2 wheats almost immediately. But I'm going to get the worker afterwards, so then I can chop down a couple of forests to get Stonehenge, I think. I think we might do it that way round. I do also have... look at this. It's an ancient ruin. Now I get my culture. Fine. Right, open up the piety tree. That'll double up this the faith per turn, which is good. I've now got 2 whole faith per turn. Ideally, though, we want to be getting to a stage where we get a lot more quickly. Old Faithful, that's good. It's a little bit of extra early game happiness. 4 science, 3 happiness now with Old Faithful. It's a little bit better than before. Everything's a little bit improved in No Quitters. All the terrible things are just a little bit improved. Oh, Pantheon. Oh, the God King. The God King. They've improved God King a little bit. I think it gives you happiness now, where before it didn't. But, dear. People are already jumping on the Pantheons. We've got to be a bit careful here. +1 culture from pastures is gone as well. Rite of spring. Ooh, it's going to get tight. I'm going to jump on mining quickly, because once I do have a worker, I'm going to want to mine these silver pretty quickly. Oh, I'm nowhere near that, so actually I'm going to get animal husbandry first. Hopefully we'll get a couple of horses. It'll boost our production a little bit. Run away from the barbarian scout. Run away. I do love it when a granary kicks into gear and suddenly you've got 2 triple food farms. Oh, fantastic. I really want a monument. I really want a monument, but I'm going to go for a worker first, just so I can start improving these farms. I really desperately need a worker, but then I kind of want to be going for the Stonehenge as well. Stonehenge is an important wonder to go for, especially now it's piety and a little bit less contested than before. It's really worth going for, because if I can get a religion, I can do some cool things with it. People with the pointiest sticks, and I'm just at the bottom thinking, what? Why would you sharpen a stick? That's a really silly thing to do. And then you can't use it as a spoon. Spoon stick. Antwerp. Come on, Iroquois, you hadn't found Antwerp. Ah, what are you doing? I'll take the gold, though. Ooh, another ancient ruin. Come on, this will be population. Mining. Oh, I just started mining. Oh, I hate when that happens. You pick up a tech that you've already kind of got. Now, I've got a couple of options of party. This one's pretty good. +1 plus faith and culture from shrines, because that will give me +1 culture and also +1 faith. Mandate of heaven as well. It just gives me +1 in the capital. So we'll go organized religion for now. It'll just give me a whopping +3 culture now, and also +3 faith. So we should get our pantheon next turn, which should be pretty good. Other than that, I kind of want to be going towards philosophy fairly quickly, but we're going to go for the hunting lodge as well. This is a new building. This is nice. The granary from pottery only improves wheat and bananas now, and hunting lodge improves deer and bison. Finally, bison gets something like improved. It's a proper resource. The game is actually fixed. How wonderful is that? Oh, the ink is settled. Oh, they've settled straight to Old Faithful. Oh, good on them. That's kind of worrying, a computer that actually knows how to use happiness properly. Has anyone else ever noticed how, whenever you look at the yields, it can never get horses right? It's just like, that's not 1 food, 1 production, that's 1 food, 2 production. I don't know why it does that, but it's really annoying. Anyway, I definitely got a huge abundance of silver everywhere. Silver is definitely my thing, so can I get something decent from silver? Ancestor worship would give me shrines and temples +1 culture. That's pretty damn good. If silver doesn't get me anything decent, then I'll go for that. What have I got? Religious idols. Faith from copper, silver, gold, iron, stone, and marble. That's a pretty decent amount of stuff. Do I want to do that? I could get the reliable +1 culture to get me through the social policy tree, or I can go for religion. I'm playing as Byzantium. I need to go for religion, don't I? So we'll go for religious idols. That'll give me the extra faith from the silver. I mean, it's not a huge bonus, but it'll at least do something. Does that give it... Sorry, I didn't read it properly. Did it give me salt as well? Was that a thing? No. No, I'm making that up. Iron, though. Iron is cool. Here we go. Work is out, and we're going to switch to Stonehenge. If we can get Stonehenge, then it'll rush us to a wonder, a religion, I should say, and that'll put us in a really good place. My worker, I'm going to go straight for this hill over here where the silver is. This is going to become part of my empire soon anyway, but I'm going to chop down that forest and rush it a little bit, because that's going to be a mine. I'm going to get rid of that forest anyway. There's just no point keeping it. This is also another candidate over here, because I'm going to be getting rid of that forest because it's a hill, this forest because it's a hill, this forest because it's a hill. All of these are hills, so it's kind of worth doing. I'm going piety. I don't need like crazy reliance on food like you would do with other starts, so it's kind of worth giving it a go. Look what I found out to sea. I'm this tiny little archipelago, whatever it is, look. And it's a map. What does the map show me? Nothing but sea. Yeah. What a good map. I mean, I could have drawn you that map, to be honest. Now that forest has come down, I'm just going to quickly go and buy that tile, just because it's a pretty good little tile. An extra sort of thing of production, and also 2 gold and a faith. It'll just help the religion come along just a little bit quicker. And in the meantime, we're just going to keep cutting down forests. Really, really rush Stonehenge. If we can get this, the start of the game will be sorted for us. Halfway there, still going around the city. slowly but surely deforesting the entire area. For the long run, this probably isn't a great idea, but as I say, I'm going to be putting mines on these hills anyway, but we'll see pretty soon if it's a good idea or not. Oh, here we go. 5 production, and 5 population, I should say, and we're really rocking. We've got 2 silvers, a horses, and 2 wheat fields being pushed out now. This is pretty good, actually. I'm pretty pleased with this start. Actually, we're going to have between all these horses and the sheep, we're going to have a ton of production in the city. It's a good capital, like a really good capital. Oh, thank God. I'm on one turn away from Stonehenge, and I saw this drop down on the right. Great library completed, and for a second I thought that was Stonehenge, and I just was about to be very, very angry and aggressive at the computer, but thankfully no. Thankfully it wasn't. It was just the Great Library. Whew. That's a close one. Woohoo! Yay! Here we go, Stonehenge has been got. Now that'll mean that hopefully I'll be first in line for a religion now. Yeah, look, I've only got to get another 10 turns worth of faith to get that. It'll be worth it. Having Stonehenge will definitely be worth it in the longer run. Now, though, I've got to think about just sort of making sure my city is decent enough. So, Great Lighthouse, I'm not gonna be rushing in a couple of wonders just for now. Hunting lodges, deer and bison. We've got none of those at the moment. A monument would be good. A worker would probably be good as well, because I can start getting those wheat up. So let's get another worker in before we get a monument. Although I always do this thing where I just don't get a monument quick enough. Come on, Cusco, why is there a barbarian right outside your borders? Leave my scout alone, damn it. Now, I love it when this happens. Antwerp, down the south of the map. I've managed to kill the encampment, which is wanted by a quest. And we've also got a worker there. So like if I just move straight in, I get the double. Oh no, it's a Wittenberg one. Oh, perfect. It's a faith city-state. So return the unit to Wittenberg. Oh, Antwerp. Screw that. Wittenberg is my friend. Look at that. Ally with Wittenberg already, and I'm now getting another 4 faith per turn, which means I'm going to rush towards that religion. I knew having that scout archer would be a good idea. Good on you, sir. Good on you. We've unfortunately now reached that bit of the piety tree, where all of the upgrades give stuff to temples. +2 science from temples, +1 happiness from temples. Oh, here we go. Religion, gain a bonus Reformation Belief. We don't have a religion just yet, so maybe that's not the best one to do. But Mandate of Heaven, +1 faith in the capital, I guess is going to be the best for us for now. But, I mean, and a discount on religious units and buildings. I mean, it'll help, but I kind of need a religion before this stuff's going to work. Maybe I should be stopping. Oh, for God's sake, my scout is on so little health, and I've just walked into more barbarians. Ooh, goody hut. Maybe this can be your last, like, dying move, scout. Just go and get the hut. Go and get it. No! Oh, so close. So close. Oh, that's going to be taunting me for the rest of the game now, unfortunately. Oh, never mind. Never mind. We'll have to find another way. This early in the game, I wouldn't normally rush towards philosophy, but I really need to unlock temples as soon as I can, because they are brilliant buildings for me. I could be using this worker again to improve my food supply to Constantinople, but until I start getting some of these farms up and running, I'm not so fast. I mean, the production in Constantinople is pretty good. I can build stuff like hunting lodges pretty quickly to increase my food. I'm not so worried. We'll be alright. Oh, look at that. 300 faith exactly, and we get a profit. Awesome. Now, there are some really cool religion options for us. Let's go for the Catholicism one this time, and let's call it Ursa Ryan, because I'm really ism. We'll go Ursa Ryan-ism this time. Fantastic. Now, Byzantium get a bonus relief, which is pretty cool. We can make this many, many different things, but let's have a think. +1 global happiness for every 2 cities. That's useful, but yeah. Influence boost from gold to city-states is increased by 30%. That used to be a Reformation Belief thing, and now it's here. That's really cool. Church properties, what I normally go for. Defender of the Faith is really good. Initiation rites is really pants. Profits earned with 25% less faith is alright. It gets you probably 1 extra profit, but it scales out with time. Missionaries, zeal, that's pretty good if you want to spread it, but there's no win in Civ 6 for religion, so not so great. Teve is good, but this one, religious settlements, gain 2 settlers. It's turn 50 and I can just gain 2 settlers. I know I lose a lot of the sort of bonuses, but it's all about acceleration through the game, and that's brilliant. I'm going to get myself 2 settlers. We are also going to be reforming our religion, and I am going to go and reform it using a certain thing that requires me to have lots of purchased buildings. So we're going to have a look at them. They've changed them a little bit again. So we've got basilicas, which give us merchant slots, cathedrals, which give us tourism from great works. Now, we're going to be going for a tourist victory, if you hadn't guessed, so cathedrals are going to be a good option for us. We're also going to get a second one. Again, all these options are just crazy. Like things like Dalai Lama, 7+7 culture, that's huge at the start of the game. That really does accelerate. Not so good at the end of the game, but absolutely huge. Synagogues, +10 production when constructing buildings. That's pretty big. What are the other options? I think there were some pretty good ones. Pagodas is extra food growth. Rolled over stuff, that's pretty cool. Mosques is extra happiness. Madrasas is extra science, but not that much extra science. I'm going to go for synagogues, I think. Cathedrals and synagogues, combining the two magical holy buildings from 2 different religions there in a harmonious way. And we've now got a double settler drop, so let's go and settle pretty quickly. Bucharest is starting to expand into lands that I consider mine, so let's go and grab that as quickly as possible, and we'll send this settler up this way as well. We're gonna... Oh my god, Manila, what is going on here? Might have to steal a little bit of this, or at least sort of... If I put my settler... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like here. If I put it there, then I can sort of bend it round, maybe. I don't know. We'll work it out. That's the second wonder the Incas have built. I mean, that's wonderific. If I'm going for a cultural victory, then taking over Cusco probably wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. I built a workboat quickly, just so I can go and get these pearls, just because I know my happiness is going to be taking a little bit of a dent. But look at that, fishing boats. +1 food, +1 production, +1 culture. That is a good tile. Why have I not thought about using that tile before? It's pretty good. In fact, maybe I should build a lighthouse, actually, to improve that further. Coastal nation tiles, +1 production from sea resources worked. So that would be a 3 food, 2 production tile. Oh my god, yes. Lighthouse, get in. Get into my empire as quickly as possible, please. Thank you very much. Here we go, we can trade one of our early game silvers for 6 gold per turn with the Incans. That's pretty good. It'll get me just at least some gold per turn coming in, and we need that because no doubt there's always one library you need from somewhere. You can see Adrianople has just been built down here. We're going to build a city here. It means it's going to have funky borders, but with the salt over in this direction, I'm not too worried about that. In fact, let's just quickly buy a tile, get those deer into the empire, and maybe just sort of buy this tile as well. I think that'll just make sure we've got enough work land that Manila won't be able to steal. I'm going straight for hunting lodges in both my new cities because I want to get boats going between them pretty quickly. Normally I'd sort of beeline the shrines, but now I've got a religion, I'm not so fussed about rushing the next great prophet. I'm fairly happy that'll happen in its own sort of time. It's more important that I can get some food shipped around because Constantinople needs to grow. Bismarck has got the statue of Zeus. Why is it that I'm playing on a continents map because I haven't played an incontinence map in quite a long time, but why is it that all my AIs are bloody building all the wonders? Ugh. It's always the way, isn't it? Always the bloody way. So you can see here, fairly stable start. We've got 622 population. It's pretty small compared to the computers, but that's not an unusual thing when playing with computers. Look, they've all got walls above them though, except from Cusco. Cusco hasn't gone tradition. The others have gone tradition because these days tradition, if you go for oligarchy, you get 3 walls in all your cities, which is pretty damn cool. Let's have a look and see what everybody's gone down. Tradition, piety, tradition, piety, tradition. Lots of tradition. Lots of piety. And luckily I got Stonehenge, otherwise that would have been a real mess. But, thank God. Thank God. I've moved my workers as well to the little cities. I'm building a dromon, just so I can have a little scout into the sea and protect the area for when I build boats. But I'm going to be building a couple more workers, because I think workers are going to be crucial to making sure my infrastructure is good enough to compete in the rest of the later stages of the game, I think. Oh, I love the Byzantium German with the fire coming out of its mouth. It's really cool. It's like a trireme, but with a ranged attack. I mean, what more do you need in life, eh? What more do you need in life? Let's build a couple of workers quickly, and then we'll get a library going. Oh, somebody just jumped on a Reformation Belief, and I thought it was going to be the one I'm going for, but it's not, luckily. It's just the Grand Temple one, which is pretty good. Grand Temple gives, like, plus food, for production. It's like a super god king. It makes your capital into just this amazing building once you've got it. I've had these two archers have been having just a fight over the river for like the last 6 turns, just sort of blowing each other to pieces. Cusco just standing there watching again. God damn it, Cusco. I mean, ugh. Sadists. Again, look, wonder number 3. Cusco's really going for it. I mean, I'm sorry, Cusco, but I'm going to have to go for you. You are just target number 1. I do, though. I've just unlocked temples. Look at that. +1 happiness and +2 faith already for temples. But these are going to get good very quickly, especially because it's already giving me +1 faith, +1 culture that hasn't been written down. I'll be reforming my religion pretty soon, but you know, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed the temples will add up nice and quickly. We're going to get trapping as well because these circuses are good. Right, here comes the money shot. Reformation Belief. Let's clock that in now. And we're going to go to this one. I mean, the Reformation Beliefs are really cool. Houses of worship is really awesome. Look at this. Churches, chantries and monasteries can all be bought with faith. That's like a triple buy. Jesuit education is pretty standard. This is cool. Religious unity. Send faith instead of gold to city-states. That's pretty cool. +1 food and 25% growth in all cities. That would help. World Church, undergrounds, these are all great. But here we go. Sacred sites, +2 tourism, +2 faith, and +2 gold from religious buildings purchased with faith. Yes, please. We're going to go for a cultural victory. And by having a triple... what do they call it? Triple piety building. So we've got churches, we've got synagogues, and hopefully we'll pick up one more soon. It means that we're going to be able to quickly build our tourism up at the very early stages of the game, which will help massively. It also looks like this coast is pretty safe, actually. Like, I've got a fairly decent run, 2 city-states blocking me in from either sides, which means I can get some food routes in without too much hassle, actually. Without fearing like I'm going to be eaten, which is pretty cool. You've always got to keep an eye on these cities, because for whatever reason, once you've got decent food tiles, on default circus, they never seem to work them. I mean, that's a great one, that is a great 3 tile, but I'd rather be getting the food in at this stage, because I want I want it to grow. I just, sometimes I feel like the choices that it makes are not fantastic. I will go and improve these sheep, but I don't know. You always got to watch default focus. In fact, actually, let's have a look and see what it's working in these cities. Trapping is good. That means I'm going to be able to get those deer involved. But I got 1, 2, 3 improved tiles. I'm in a fish. That's not so bad, to be honest. Adrianople. Unimproved tiles, really. I got to be working quicker than I am at the moment. Got trapping. I want to get theology pretty soon, but we'll get the wheel going. Build some roads. Get some money in. So I just did a little bit of tile purchasing, and lo and behold, there's a barbarian archer sat here. Oh dear, there's always bloody one, isn't there? Right. Down you come, warrior. The long trek home. This is where piety really starts to rock into action now. I've just built a shrine in both of these 2 cities, and already my faith is +18, my culture's +9, and I haven't got monuments in these cities yet. I mean, you're gonna get temples pretty soon. I'm pretty happy with the piety start. I mean, it's a little slower burning than tradition at those first sort of maybe 50 turns, but it really does start to rock up pretty quickly. The piety tree, they've really done wonders with it. They've made it into a very fun tree now. This is the fun bit of any game with a decent capital. Cargo ship, Byzantium cargo ship, Constantinople, 7 food route. Wabam! Constantinople will be growing nice and quickly now. I'm here because I wanted to go and get this ancient ruin. And I'm just going to skirt around all this fighting. Oh, there's another one up there. You see, it's worth it. I knew coming back to the north would be a good move. Finally, here's the second great prophet. Let's quickly enhance my religion, and hopefully there'll still be a third building involved, which will be sort of semi-decent. Oh yeah, there we go. +1 happiness. Each religion in the city gives +1 faith and +1 culture. That's not great. Madrasas are pretty good, to be fair. I like the extra science, so let's go for the extra science one. Enhancer belief. Dalai Lama would give me 7 culture. Deus Volt is a pretty cool one. Extra missionaries, mounted units, ranged units, and 2 siege units just in one big go. Papal primacy, +4 faith per 10, which each city-state following this religion, and it spreads twice as fast as city-states. That's a pretty good one. Pilgrimage gives me extra trade routes. I mean, it's all good fun. Promised Land's fun. They spread twice as fast to my cities, but 75% slower to others. So basically, you become like a sort of musical, religious spot that can't be squished. I'm going to go for papal primacy, actually, because that'll sort of help to spread my stuff around, give me a little bit of extra faith. I've got Bucharest, Hanoi, and Manila all within very short space. That's an extra 12 potential faith per turn. That'll help massively. We're just going to jump straight in, and we're going to purchase cathedrals quickly, because I think that's the one I want. +1 culture, great work of art slot, and then 50% tourism from great works. That, for me, there's extra tourism. That's going to be good. And I'm going to get rid of this damn archer now, because I want to improve these gems, because I am unhappy. Anyway, I'm going to give it a wrap there. Constantinople is, I think we've got a decent start going now. No, what we're going to do is we're going to rush the great, what do they call it? The National College and the Super Temple. What's it called? Grand Temple. Going to rush those 2 through. As soon as I've got that, I'm going to start expanding. And I've got another 3 or 4 spots that I could easily put cities. I'm going to just really expand. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks very much for watching. Remember, if you subscribe and you can join the sort of subscribe club, then we will be doing a multiplayer game at 200 subs. So please stick around and join me for then. See you later. Bye!